No, I'm not 21, in case you're wondering. But we are live, and let me get pulled up the chat here. If you guys are here, let me know. Say what's up in the chat. I love seeing all you guys' names in the chat box. I see Josh is in here already. What's going on, Josh? He says, what a discount on Lucid. Yeah, no kidding. Lucid is, yeah, I mean, after their earnings yesterday, they got crushed. And we can actually, I'll take you to the sticks and show you. But Lucid absolutely crushed today. They were down about 9-10% after hours yesterday, and they're down 14% now. Pretty bad. So, you know, the puts printed, I know there were people in my chat that had bought some puts on Lucid, and congratulations if you were one of them. You made a lot of money today. I see political chit-chats in here. Ben's in here. What's going on, guys? Again, if you guys are new here, please subscribe. Hit the like button. It helps me out tremendously. And also, if you're watching and just like kind of, you know, watching in the background, just pop in the chat for just a little bit and say what's up so I can see you guys' name. Josh is in here. Ben's here. Political's here. We got a crew starting to accumulate now, but after hours today, we have Plug Power Earnings. I'm really going to be paying attention to this one. AMC earnings as well, I believe. They're down about 4.6% going into their earnings after hours. Ideanomics, IDEX earnings down about 7.6%. Today for overall was a pretty red day. It was kind of up and down, but it looks like we're having a lot of weakness going into the closing bell. SoFi earnings are today. Context Logic, Wish is today down 5.27% currently. Salesforce is today down about 0.75% currently. XL Fleet, one that I've talked about on my channel a few times, down 4.36% going into earnings. And I think what you'll notice is since these stocks are actually red going into their earnings reports, there's actually like a better chance they'll actually have positive reaction to their earnings after hours rather than the negative reactions. Like yesterday, the companies that reported earnings after hours, a lot of them went red because they reported earnings on a day where they were already up 9% for the day. Romeo Power is today. I've talked about them on the channel before, not very in-depth. First Solar is today, down 0.32%. And then Voozi is today, down about 5%. If there's any other earnings you want me to cover that I don't have ready, just type it in the chat. I'd be glad to cover them. But we have the Benzinga Pro news feed pulled up. So as soon as those press releases and SEC filings hit the news feed, hit the news wire, we'll have it here for you guys, and we will be covering it. I see Michael's in here. What's going on, Michael? Those of you just joining, make sure you say what's up and hello in the chat. It's always cool to see everybody's names, getting to know you all. Let's go check out the market indices, like the S&P 500 right now. S&P 500, roller coaster day, but we're having a lot of weakness going into the close here. You can see these red candles over the past, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 minutes of red candles in a row now with increasing volume, might you note, down about 2%. Markets are still in massive fear mode. Nasdaq is following suit. The IWM, Russell 2000 small caps down 2.5%, really getting crushed. Hopefully we'll end up showing some strength at some point before the market closes. We have about 10 minutes till the closing bell. And it looks like the small caps are trying to reverse here, show some strength. We will keep an eye on it, though. Let's go to like CleanSpark, one of my holdings, down 0.28% now after being up significantly this morning. I don't think anybody predicted these mining companies to be red on a day like today when Bitcoin is up significantly since the market closed yesterday. Marathon Digital is up 2.4%, so they're having a pretty good day. Riot Blockchain, which is another Bitcoin mining company, is down 0.7%. Hut 8, just for fun, is down about 1%. So for the most part, the miners are actually red right now. And Bitcoin really hasn't fallen that much. We're still at 43,900, which at the market close yesterday, I think we were only at like 41,000. So it's kind of ridiculous that the Bitcoin miners are red, but you know, it usually happens whenever Bitcoin shows weakness whatsoever as the market's open and as the day progresses. It's, you know, it happens, even if Bitcoin has gone up since the latest market open or market close. I see Albo's in here. What's going on, Albo? Fred's here. Yeah, Fred, don't worry. I'll cover Romeo Power for you. Don't worry about that. Froggy's here. Just got here. Did you say Workhorse and Wish, please? Yeah, Workhorse reported this morning. They actually beat on guidance, and as you can see, they're up 17.73% as a result. Workhorse is one that I'm thinking about buying back into. I originally bought it like $2.93 cents, rode it all the way up to $40 and sold at $20 after they lost the USPS contract. But I think they have a really good management team at Workhorse now. I'll have to do some new fundamental research on it in the future. But I am keeping my eye on it. But yes, wish we are going to cover context logic. Don't worry about it. We are going to cover it here on the screen after the markets close. Just to review, we have Plug Power, AMC, IDEX, Ideanomics, SoFi, Wish, which is context logic, CRM, which is Salesforce, XL Fleet, Romeo Power, First Solar, and Voozi. Those are the ones we have now. If there are any other companies reporting earnings that you want me to cover, let me know in the chat, and I would be glad to do so. Kevin's in here. What's going on, Kevin? He says, good afternoon, Rex. Good afternoon. It's beautiful outside here at Nebraska, by the way. Over 75 degrees right now outside. It's incredible. For February in Nebraska, this is insane weather. Let's see. Keithan asks, you still believe in Humble? It's not that I don't believe in them, but the valuation when I sold out of them was a bit extreme, and I sold out of them, it might have been a year ago now, half a year ago, I'm not sure, but I sold out of Humble a long time ago because the valuation got stretched pretty dang far, and I didn't think that the business model necessarily properly reflected the valuation they were getting. I felt that they were overvalued. I see Jose's back in here. What's going on, Jose? Good to see you again. I hope I'm saying your name right, by the way. But yeah, super cool. We got quite a crew coming in here now. Market's closed in about 8 minutes. Let's go check on the S&P 500 one more time. We really want to see some strength after, 8 red candles, 8 minutes of red price action on the market indices. Looks like we're getting some strength, bouncing off of 427.16 on the SPY. Hopefully the bounce kind of continues into the close. The Nasdaq, very similar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 red candles before we got a bounce on the Nasdaq. And these small caps were also basically identical. Not recovering or bouncing near as much as the Nasdaq or the S&P 500 is, but still bouncing a little bit. We'll have to see what it does as the markets close, though. Jose says he wants me to cover SoFi. Yes, I'm going to be covering SoFi. Don't worry about it. I do have SoFi on the list. Andron's in here. What's going on, Andron? What's going on? Good to see you. Frank's in here. What's going on, Frank? Frank, do you still hold Workhorse? I remember you're a big Workhorse guy from back in the day. I hope you're still holding because today, man, 17.7%. I love it, Frank. If you're still in that, congratulations. But the reason it's up today is because their earnings this morning were better than expected. They didn't lose as much money as the analysts expected they would, and they also beat on their guidance. And they said they're going to deliver more vehicles than the analysts and markets in general anticipated. So overall, really, really positive move for Workhorse. They're getting rewarded for it. Imagine that they beat guidance, pre-revenue company actually saying they're going to deliver vehicles, and the market is rewarding them. Yeah. Noah says that thumbnail is cringe AF. Noah, you're cringe AF. Let's see. Jose says, hey Rex, why do your live videos get deleted once you finish airing? If you guys want me to leave them public after I live stream, let me know. I've been making them private just because I don't feel like there's that many people that want to go back and rewatch my live streams. But maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. Frank says, yeah, I'm in at $1.77. Wow, that's incredible. So Frank, did you ride Workhorse all the way up to like $40 and then all the way back down to $3.69, what it's at right now? Man, that's crazy. More power to you. That's some strong diamond hands, which by the way, guys, my diamond hands guy, look, his hand broke. His hand literally broke. I don't know if this is a sign or what's going on, but diamond hands, his hand broke. I don't know what's going on. Holy smokes, CleanSpark kind of got a big red or green candle there. Is Bitcoin doing something? Let's go look. Bitcoin, yeah, Bitcoin just bounced to over 44,000 again. Marathon, I'm assuming same thing. Yeah, green candle here. So hopefully the Bitcoin miners finish strong, and hopefully the indices in general keep bouncing. If Bitcoin bounces, generally the markets will bounce too, and you see that here. Green candles going into the close, which is good to see after pretty good day. Whenever the indices are down 1.5 to 2% or more, it's a pretty rough day in the markets, needless to say. See what the Nasdaq's doing. Yeah, same thing on the Nasdaq. I'm assuming small caps are exactly identical as well. And yeah, same thing. Not quite as big of a bounce, but still a bounce there. Let's go back to Bitcoin, though. Looks like Bitcoin's kind of leading the way. Yeah, Bitcoin. Let's keep an eye on Bitcoin. I see. Okay. BB says, hi, handsome. Love all the different looks. Tesla to the moon. I mean, hey, I'm a handsome guy. No, I'm not, but thank you. Thank you. Tesla to the moon. BB says Tesla to the moon. How's Tesla doing today? I know they were red earlier. They're bouncing back, though. They might finish green here, down about 0.9%. We'll have to see. There's only 4 minutes left in the trading day, but we'll keep an eye on it. Jason says, leave up the streams. Leave the streams up. I've tried several times when I arrive late to watch from the beginning, and it cuts off midway through. Okay, so maybe what I can do is I can leave them up until, like, the end of the day, so like midnight, and that's when I'll make them private. We'll see. Market's closing in about 4 minutes. We're still getting a bounce here on basically everything. Very, very good to see after a really red day. Yeah, green candles coming in like crazy. We love to see the green candles. Love to see them. Let's see. Frank says, I sold some at $39, still holding 8,000 shares. Good move, Frank. Congratulations on the profit. I still think Workhorse is probably going to succeed, especially with the new management they have in there. Michael says, any thoughts on Hyliion earnings? I don't remember when Hyliion reported. Have they reported yet? Let me know, Michael, and I'll give you my thoughts on it. I can't remember if they've reported yet or if they're going to come up soon. Let me know, and I'll give you my thoughts. Josh says, leave them up and give people the choice. You have good stuff. Hey, I appreciate it, Josh. That means a lot to me. Seriously, it means a lot to me when you guys compliment, what I share with you. I see Zickom Raskin is back in here. Says, what's up, Rex? Greetings along the way from Tucson, Arizona. What's going on, Tucson? I didn't know you were from Arizona. My family goes to Arizona quite often for vacations. We'll have to meet up sometime. The Hotspot's back in here from Hawaii. What's going on? I love it. I love it. Everybody from around the world. It's super awesome. Let's go back to the S&P 500. Again, just to review, after hours, we have Plug Power earnings, AMC earnings, Ideanomics earnings, SoFi earnings, Wish earnings, CRM, Salesforce earnings, XL Fleet earnings, Romeo Power earnings, First Solar earnings, and then Voozi earnings. So we have a lot to get to after hours, and I know there's even more earnings on top of that that I don't have listed. So if there's any of them that you want me to cover that I don't have on the list right now, let me know, and I'd be glad to cover them. But we have a lot to get into. Markets close in about 2 minutes. S&P 500 still pretty strong here. Green candles. We love to see them. Frank says he's digging CleanSpark. Yeah, man, it's been amazing. CleanSpark's been a very big outperformer for me in my portfolio. Hopefully it continues. Obviously a Bitcoin mining company. We need Bitcoin to do well. So far, Bitcoin's looking really, really strong. Even in the face of chaos and war, Bitcoin's been very, very strong. Hope it continues. There's no for sure answer as to if it will continue. Okay, Aaron says IDEX postponed. Rex the Hex. Thank you, Aaron, for saying that. I will cross off Ideanomics. Seems like so many companies are postponing their earnings for some reason. Maybe they just don't want to report into such a red down market, which I can't blame them. But it seems like almost daily there's at least one that was supposed to report earnings that delays their earnings. I don't know why. Maybe it simply is just because they don't want to report earnings into such a down market. CleanSpark up about 0.9% here. The markets in general are bouncing here in the last few minutes of trading. S&P 500 still pretty strong, only down about 1.6% now after being down about 2%. The Nasdaq Qqq, same thing, only down about 1.5%. IWM small caps in the last minute of trading are down about 2%, but they're really bouncing here. They were down much more. They were down close to 2.5% at one point, and they're bouncing here, only down about 1.9% now. But yeah, super cool. D. Williams says, rep in Charleston, South Carolina. I've been taking big L's on Salesforce. Oh no, man. Salesforce has been getting pounded, but so has the entire market. I mean, this isn't company specific, right? So you just need to focus on that. Zoom out on the chart, and it's broad picture, man. Broad picture. Don't let it get you down. Salesforce will be back. It's a company here to stay. Don't worry about it. The market's just closed. What am I doing? I'm not doing my job right. That's what I'm doing. Ding, ding, ding. Market's closed. S&P 500 finished down 1.58%. The Nasdaq finished down 1.53%. Small caps Russell 2000 finished down 1.96%. So the small caps got a good bounce here. CleanSpark, Bitcoin miner up 0.75%. Bitcoin finished up right at about 44,200. We're getting kind of a bounce here on Bitcoin. We'll have to keep an eye on Bitcoin here. But let's go ahead and switch over to the Google Chrome. So that we can get all these earnings ready that are going to come out here shortly. And I believe I pushed the right button. Let me make sure I did. to be sure you guys can see this, and I did not push the right button. This should be the right button. There we go. All right, so as soon as the press releases come out with company earnings, it will populate here in the Benzinga Pro newsfeed, and I will have them here and cover them and show you my thoughts. Looks like Plug Power is out now already. Plug Power, we don't have numbers. We just have a press release. Looks like it'll take me to a link. I'll try and load this and just get the revenue numbers. Plug Power, $500 million in revenue in 2021. $162 million in revenue in Q4. That's really, really strong. Okay. I don't have income numbers. I don't have income, which makes me nervous. Whenever companies don't put their income and profits on the first page of their press release, it makes me nervous because it makes me think they're trying to hide something. But looks like Plug is out. I don't have the exact numbers other than that revenue number I just named off. Plug Power after hours right now is still flat, so the markets have not reacted to their earnings yet, but I'm assuming they will. Let's see. I'll get to all your questions. It looks like we have, okay, we're going to cover SoFi, just to review for everybody. Plug Power just came out. They're down about 2% after hours right now. AMC's today, SoFi's today, Wish is today, CRM's today, XL Fleet's today, Romeo Power's today, First Solar is today, Voozi is today. We're covering all those earnings, so just stay tuned for it. And if there's any other companies you want me to cover, let me know. Also, if you guys are new here, returning not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Live streaming is so much different than making videos because I don't have any do-overs. I can't edit out when I trip over my own tongue. But yeah, Plug Power is the only one that has come out so far. And again, we just got the revenue number. After hours, it's down about 2.5%. We'll see how the markets, really dissect this earnings. They're only down 0.6. Now they're down 2.3. So very volatile. We'll have to pay attention to where it settles. Looks like people want me to cover BNGO earnings. CRM is already on the list. Don't worry about it. I can cover BNGO. I didn't know BioNano was today, but I will cover them. I'll put them on the list now. BNGO, sure. Got it on the list now. We'll cover it. Yeah, looks like we're good to go. By the way, if you guys are curious about the stocks I am covering the earnings on already, you can just look at these blue ticker symbols at the top of the screen here. And if yours that you want me to cover is not listed here, let me know in the chat box and I'll add it to the list. Okay. Prince Butter says, cover SoFi, my dude. Yeah, I will cover SoFi. Don't worry. We have not gotten their earnings out yet. We're still waiting on SoFi, but they are on the list. Woozy says, did Workhorse give good guidance? Yeah, Workhorse gave great guidance. They're actually going to deliver more vehicles than the markets anticipated originally, and they're being rewarded for it. Rightfully so. Ragav asks, is SoFi out? I don't see SoFi earnings out yet. Plug, by the way, down 7% after hours, so really negative reaction so far to Plug earnings. And I said they didn't give us that net income number or profit number at the top of their press release, which always worries me because generally that means whatever company it is that's reporting is trying to hide something about their net income and profits. And apparently the market's are seeing through it because it's down 8% now. I'm not sure what their guidance was, but as soon as it comes out, I will cover them. Okay. What was I going to do? Oh, we were going to go see SoFi after hours. SoFi after hours is loading, up 1.5% right now. I don't see their earnings in the news feed yet. As soon as they come out, it'll populate here, though. Let me refresh the page just to be sure. But they should be coming out shortly. Here we go. Plug. Q4 EPS of negative 33 cents, up from negative $1.14 year over year. Sales beat the estimate by about $5 million. They reported $162 million in sales. They beat the $157 million estimate. Plug Power reaffirms fiscal year 2022 sales guidance of $900 million to $925 million versus $898 million estimated. Sees fiscal year 2025 sales of $3 billion. I'm not sure why exactly they're forecasting 2025 already, but there you go. If you're curious about 2025 numbers, they see $3 billion in revenue in 2025. So it looks like guidance actually beat. I'm a little nervous about the net income profit number, though. For some reason, the stock is down 7-8% after hours. But the guidance looked good. Now they're only down about 4%. So we're getting some strength into Plug Power now. Some buy the dipping happening after hours. We'll keep an eye on it. Looks like Salesforce just came out. XL Fleet just came out. BNGO just came out. So I have a lot of talking to do. I apologize if I get tripped up. Looks like BNGO, 2021 revenue growth of 111% over 2020. Strong balance sheet with a $251 million in cash. Again, I don't see profit numbers. I just see revenue. which makes me nervous. Let's go ahead and see what BNGO is doing after hours. By the way, Plug Power getting bought up was down about 8%, only down about 2.5% now. BioNano's down about 3% currently. So BioNano, BNGO, negative reaction to their earnings so far. By the way, as I can catch my breath here, if you guys new or returning and not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. It means a lot to me. Salesforce was just released. Fourth quarter revenue is $7.33 billion, up 26% year over year. Looks like GAAP operating margin of 2.1%, non-GAAP of 18.7%. Fiscal year 23 revenue guidance of $32.1 billion at the high end of the range. So good chance here Salesforce is green after hours if I had to guess. And yeah, they're up 4% after hours. So Salesforce, if you're a Salesforce shareholder, I know there was at least one in here that was. Congratulations. Looks like a really positive earnings for you. XL Fleet just came out, generated revenue for fourth quarter of 2021 of $8 million compared to $10.9 million in the prior year. So declining revenue for XL Fleet, not necessarily what you want to see investing in a high growth company like XL Fleet. Realized gross loss for the fourth quarter of $1.6 million. Compared to $2 million in gross profit for the prior year. But they have plenty of cash, equaling about $352 million. I'm guessing XL Fleet is down after hours, though, off of those earnings. Yeah, I mean, down 0.5%, so pretty much flat, but technically down. Plug Power, let's see if Plug Power is getting bought up yet. Plug Power was down about 8%. Last we checked, only 2.5%. Plug Power is green now, so you see that guidance beat is actually coming in handy for Plug Power. So good for them, up 1.5% now after being down about 8% after hours. Plug Power bouncing back. Looks like Salesforce Q4 EPS of 84 cents beat the 75-cent estimate. Sales of $7.33 billion beat the $7.24 billion estimate, and they raised guidance. So a triple beat there for Salesforce. And really positive reaction after hours, as we just covered. I'll write that down so I don't forget it. Wish.com just came out. Wish revenues were $289 million, a decrease of 64% year over year. Not what you want to see again. Adjusted EBITDA was a loss of $23 million, an improvement of 81% year over year. Net loss was $58 million, a 90% year over year improvement. Obviously, that's a good thing, but I would go ahead and venture out and guess that Wish context logic is down off of this earnings report? Question mark? Yeah, down 9%. So mixed reaction to earnings so far. Plug Power is getting bought up. Looks like Salesforce raises their fiscal year 23 revenue guidance from $31.65 billion to $31.8 billion from the prior guidance of $32 billion to $32.1 billion. Or no, I'm sorry, I read that backwards. From the $31.65 to $31.8 to the new guidance of $32 billion to $32.1 billion. So again, triple beat by Salesforce, really positive reaction after hours. And you can see here the estimate versus actual Q1 adjusted EPS. What they see for Q1 is 93 to 94 cents positive EPS versus a 99-cent estimate. So a quarterly guidance was a miss, but fiscal year 23 guidance was a beat. So let's see. They see fiscal year 23 adjusted EPS of $4.62 to $4.64 versus the $4.68 estimate. Ooh, all right, I can catch my breath somewhat here. I just want to say, there's a lot of people in here. Thank you for showing up. If you guys are new here, returning, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate it. Let's go back and review how things are reacting after hours. Plug earnings came out. Originally, they were down about 8% after hours. Then they broke green. Right now, they're about flat, up only 0.04%. We also got Salesforce earnings, which was a triple beat, and they were getting rewarded handsomely after hours for it. Let's go check in on them again here. Salesforce is still up about 4.6%. Congratulations to all Salesforce shareholders. And then we got BNGO that came out, and they had a negative reaction to their earnings, down about 3.7% currently. Okay, I think we're all caught up here on the earnings that have come out. Oh, wait, did Wish come out? I want to say Wish. Yeah, Wish came out. Did I cover Wish? I don't know if I covered Wish. Let's see how they're reacting after hours, though. Wish, Context Logic. Oh, no, I covered these. They're down 10.57%. Yeah. Down pretty big on that earnings report from Context Logic. SoFi just reported earnings. Let's see what their numbers are. Let's go to the Yahoo Finance and see how SoFi is reacting initially to this earnings. They are up 2.23% right now. SoFi had fourth quarter GAAP revenue of $286 million, up 67%. Adjusted EBITDA of $5 million positive for sixth straight quarter. Record 523,000 quarterly new member adds, up 39% sequentially. 906,000, which is a record quarterly new product ads, up 51% sequentially. So SoFi looking really, really strong. And SoFi is one of those members of the fintech space that have just been beat up. Of course, down about 1% after hours right now. Very volatile. We'll see how it settles. Just broke green, now went red again. Green about 0.89% as I'm speaking, though. Very volatile. I'll check back in on it in a little bit. Mixed reaction here for SoFi. But it looks like the revenue growth is really, really good. Positive EBITDA is a good thing, sixth straight quarter of that. But the net loss continued. Net loss steepened from 2020 to 2021. In 2020, SoFi had a net loss of 82,616. Numbers are in thousands, I believe. So that's technically 82.6 million. And they had a net loss of 111 million currently, which might be part of the reason the markets are having somewhat of a negative initial reaction to these earnings, but up 6.5% now. So the revenue growth year over year is kind of outweighing that net loss increase year over year. And this is what I said prior to the time that a lot of you tuned into the stream, is a lot of these stocks today being down because the markets had a pretty down day today. It's a lot easier actually to have a positive reaction to earnings when you have a red day in the stock. Like yesterday was the opposite, where a lot of companies reported earnings, but because they were up 5, 6, 7% during the day, the reaction to the earnings was actually red after hours, because it's very difficult to keep going green after you have such a green day already. It's kind of the opposite happening today, where the red days are pricing in a little bit more weakness on earnings. And if earnings are priced to the upside, then these companies are getting rewarded. So far, I would say more of a positive reaction to these earnings than negative. SoFi up about 7.5% right now as I'm speaking. Context Logic was down about 10.5%, still down about 10.5%. Salesforce had a triple beat, was rewarded after hours, up about 4.6% last we checked, of only about 3% now, so cooling off a little bit there. We also had BNGO report earnings, and they were down about 4% last we looked, and they are still down about 3.2%. So a little buy the dip happening there. But we also had Plug Power report earnings, initially down 8%, right now up about 1.6%. So there's kind of a flip-flop here in Plug Power, but I would say leaning towards green reactions to all these earnings. SoFi Technologies Q4 EPS of negative 15 cents beat the negative 17 cent estimate. So an earnings beat in Q4 for SoFi. Sales beat as well by, what is that, $50,000? So nothing really, $500,000. So, double beat technically there for SoFi, and we just saw after hours, after being red for a little bit, SoFi actually broke green by quite a wide margin, up 10% after hours now. And this could also have to do with the fact that fintech has just been absolutely thrashed around over the past year. It's a lot easier to report really positive earnings and have a positive reaction to your earnings report if your stock has been trashed, because the markets simply aren't anticipating anything great. Somebody says, Dream Ride Music says, Rex is awesome. I appreciate it. I do. SoFi up about 13% now, so extending those gains after hours. Crazy, man. This market's just volatile. Dream Ride says, make sure you cover Romeo. Yeah, I'm covering Romeo Power. Don't worry about it. I don't believe their earnings have come out yet. After hours, they're up about 1.76%. SoFi guidance just came in, the headliner. SoFi sees Q1 adjusted net revenue of 280 to 285 million versus a 306 million estimate. And they see fiscal year 2022 adjusted net revenue, so yearly, of 1.57 billion versus a 1.45 billion estimate. So they're actually guiding weaker than anticipated for the upcoming quarter, but they're guiding more than anticipated for the entire year combined. So really interesting contrast there for SoFi, expecting a weak quarter, but for the full year, they're actually expecting a better year than the markets anticipated and the analysts anticipated. But we're still waiting on, we're still waiting on AMC. I believe AMC is today. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're waiting on XL Fleet, Romeo Power, First Solar, Voozi. And we've gotten Plug Power, SoFi, Wish, Context Logic, CRM, which is Salesforce, and BNGO, which is Bio Nano. Danny Boy, yeah, I'm going to be covering Voozi. Don't worry about it. I don't believe their earnings have come in. It looks like we just got Romeo. Romeo just came in. RMO just came in. Delivered total revenues of about $17 million in line with the prior outlook. So they didn't beat. It looks like they were in line. Again, I don't see a profit number in the headline, which worries me a little bit. Finished 2021 with cash and cash equivalents and investments of $120 million. So still really positive position for Romeo Power in a working capital point of view. I still don't see income or profit numbers, which again makes me a little bit nervous that the company's trying to hide something. Yeah, in this entire press release that they put out, I don't see anything related to profits or income. Generally, when that's the case, the company's trying to hide, a bad thing with that. We'll see how they're reacting after hours. Up about 2.35% right now. We'll see how the markets settle when more of the markets react to this news, because the news again just hit the news wire. But Romeo came in. Again, I don't see any net income or profit numbers, but they delivered total revenues of $16.8 million, which was in line with their prior guidance and outlook. So they didn't miss, but they didn't beat. But I'm not seeing income or profit numbers. We'll have to see how the markets ultimately decide to treat that earnings report. Fred says, everyone hit the like button for Rex. Yeah, hit the like button. Yeah, seriously, no. Thank you, Fred, for saying that. When I have other people doing my job for me, it makes it easier for me when I don't have to tell people to hit the like button for me. I just have people doing it for me for free. No. Okay. Flex C says Beachbody Earnings. Is Beachbody today? Beachbody. I don't even know what that company does. But let's go ahead and see if Beachbody Earnings are today. If they are, I will add them to the list of earnings we're going to look at today. Looks like their earnings 11 minutes ago came out, so I'll add them to the list. What's their ticker? Beach. I don't know what it is. Beachbody. Let's see. Body is their ticker symbol. Okay. Body sees Q1 sales of 170 to 180 million versus a 200 million estimate. So they missed on Q1 guidance. Adjusted EBITDA loss of 25 million to 20 million. So in the range of 20 to 25 million dollars on EBITDA loss. Body is guiding for Q4 adjusted EBITDA loss was 26.6 million versus a gain of 16.5 million in the same quarter last year. Net loss of $146 million versus a loss of $16.9 million year over year. That doesn't sound good to me. Let's see how they're reacting after hours. That just does not sound or look good to me. But Beachbody after hours only down about 2%. Again, another company that's kind of been trashed over the past year. Jose says, Rex, you're the GOAT. Jose, you're the GOAT for showing up, not me. Yeah, I appreciate it. I got it now. Body. Thank you guys for sharing the ticker symbol. It was one of those that I didn't know off the top of my head, but thank you for watching out for me. Can I cover PTRA? Is that Proterra? PTRA earnings. If Proterra is today, yeah, it's Proterra. If their earnings are today, sure, I'll cover them. I'll add them to the list. Yeah, it looks like their earnings came out. Absolutely. I'll add them to the list here. PTRA, Proterra. Proterra. Let's see. Proterra releases fourth quarter. Let's see. I don't have any headliners. And it's trying to take me to their investor relations page to see any of their actual numbers. I guess I could do that. It's difficult, but I guess I could do that. Why don't they ever make it easy? Okay, let's go over to their investor relations page and look at Proterra. Let's just see how they're reacting after hours as that loads, though. Proterra, oh, that's not what I wanted. Am I doing the right thing? Proterra. Is that the right? PTRA. Oh, I put in PRTA. No, duh. PTRA. Come on, load Yahoo Finance. Let's go. Proterra. Anyways, let's go try and load their news release now. They released their earnings just about 15 minutes ago, right at the market close. They're not giving us any information on Proterra. They just gave us a press release saying that they released them, but I'm not seeing the actual numbers anywhere, unfortunately. Maybe I'm missing them. I'll keep looking. I don't see anything. After hours, Proterra is down 9.8%, so negative reaction, whatever their earnings were. But I don't see any numbers for Proterra. Interesting. But I'll keep an eye on Proterra. Obviously down 10% after hours. Something isn't quite right. I'll see if I can click on this link and if this will give me the numbers. No, I'm still not seeing anything. If anybody has a link to it, then let me know. I'm still not seeing anything on Proterra, though. Voozi earnings are in. Voozi. Leading supplier of smart glasses and AR technologies, augmented reality. They had quotes here from the management team. Sales of products, these numbers are in thousands. They had about 3.1 million in sales in 2021, down from 3.7 million in sales in 2020. That's quarterly. That was quarterly. Annually in 2021, they did about 12.8 million in sales versus 10 million in 2020. So positive growth year over year. Quarterly, it was negative year over year, though. Gross loss versus profit. Looks like they had a gross profit of $209,000, minimal. But anytime you can report positive earnings, it's a good thing. Let's go ahead and see how Voozi is reacting after hours. If I had to guess, it's probably green. No, down 9.5% according to Google. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with Voozi. Down 10.6% now. Here's Proterra. Finally, the Form 8. I think they're an international company. Yeah, here's the 8K, which hopefully this will show us the numbers. It should. The 8K here. Okay. Proterra, $243 million in revenue, up 23% year over year. This is an annual number. $1.3 billion in backlog. That's a really strong backlog. 155% year over year growth in Proterra. Dang it. It messed me up. In Proterra battery system deliveries, 208 electric buses delivered. So honestly, it looks pretty strong, Proterra, if I do say so myself. But they were getting punished after hours. They were down 10% last we looked? Yeah, down 10.7%. So maybe the guidance missed? I'm not sure. I don't have the actual versus the estimates, so I can't tell you if they beat or missed on guidance or estimates. But who knows? Okay. Let's see. We're still waiting on, is AMC for sure today? Because we have not gotten AMC earnings yet. We're still waiting on First Solar. Voozi was negative reaction. Still waiting on XL Fleet. And we got Romeo Power. Let's just go back through the list and see how these stocks are doing after hours. Plug Power after hours initially was down about 8%, but they're up 6% now. So a lot of the buy the dipping happening on Plug Power. AMC we have not gotten earnings for yet, but they should be coming today. Apparently, I don't know when exactly they'll come, but they're up about 1.6% after hours right now. SoFi was up after hours as well. Still up about 12%. So really strong move from SoFi and Plug. And then Wish, Context Logic actually got punished. Weak earnings for them, down about 8.8% after hours now. Salesforce or CRM had a triple beat. Sales beat, earnings beat, and guidance beat. Salesforce up about 3.78% after hours right now. Still waiting on XL Fleet. I believe they're after hours today. I can double check to make sure. They're up about 3.26%. And it looks like they actually came out. It just didn't hit my newswire. Oh, it just did. XL Fleet Q4 EPS of negative 11 cents was in line. The sales beat by about $2.8 million. That's actually a big beat for XL Fleet. The estimate was $5.2 million. They reported $8 million flat. So XL Fleet after hours, green by, 3%, and rightfully so. Pretty solid beat there for XL Fleet. And XL Fleet shareholders have been thirsty for any sort of positive news because, this one's been beat down about as much as any stock has. So positive reaction to XL Fleet, really good to see. Let's see, First Solar just came in. First Solar Q4 EPS of $1.23 beats the $1.06 estimate. Sales of $900 million missed the $917 million estimate. So it was actually an earnings beat for First Solar, but a sales miss. And their guidance of EPS for fiscal year 2022 is flat to 60 cents in the positive. Was $1.90 versus a $1.92 estimate. I'm not sure if that's right. I'll double check it. They see net sales of $2.4 billion to $2.6 billion compared to an estimate on the street of $2.76 million. Let's just go ahead and see how First Solar is reacting after hours. Kind of a mixed report there if those headlines are correct. First Solar down 13%. So yeah, the guidance miss is thrashing the stock after hours, down 13%. BioNano, actual versus estimate just came in. The headliner, Q4 sales of $6.3 million beat the $5.57 million estimate. So BioNano actually beat on sales, but they, I believe, were down after hours by about 4% last we looked. We'll see if this reversed course at all. But BioNano, if it'll load here for me, taking a little bit. But Bionano beat on sales, but they're down about 4%. So it really hasn't moved from that initial reaction to the earnings after hours. We're still waiting on AMC. Not exactly sure when those will come out. Should be today shortly, hopefully in about 5 minutes or so at the bottom of the hour. Okay, Voozi Q4 EPS of negative 27 cents, missed the negative 12-cent estimate. Their sales also missed 3.3 million versus a 3.97 million estimate, and that could also be why Voozi is down after hours. Down, what was it? Yeah, 12% right now. So not good reaction to Voozi. First Solar we were looking at. First Solar was down also. Big guidance miss on First Solar, unfortunately. Down about 15%. Wow, really negative reaction to First Solar there. Bionano was down 4%. Romeo Power reported earnings, if it'll load here on Yahoo Finance for me. Romeo Power reported earnings, and they were, I believe, down. Yeah, down 2% after hours. XL Fleet actually had a sales beat. So that being some sort of positive news at least, the stock actually moved higher. And again, XL Fleet's one of those companies that really has been beat up over the past year. So any sort of positive news has been a good thing. Okay. And then CRM was Salesforce. They reported triple beat there. Sales beat, earnings beat, guidance beat. My Yahoo Finance is kind of acting up here a little bit slow. I apologize. But Salesforce, yeah, still up about 4% after hours. SoFi, let's go check on SoFi again. SoFi was up in the green by 12%, up 16% now on SoFi. So the fintech space beat up like crazy, but positive reactions are really boosting SoFi after hours. Let's go ahead and go check on PayPal, a similar company in the same industry. Let's see if PayPal's getting a boost from SoFi's earnings after hours today. I would not be surprised if that is the case. Let's see. PayPal, if it'll load for me. I'm not sure why it's not loading. I'm going to refresh my page, or I'll just Google it. PayPal stock. Oops. Typos. PayPal stock. Looks like I'm bogged up here. Yeah, PayPal's only up about 0.14% after hours, so really not a big move in reaction to SoFi's earnings. But SoFi still up about 15%. Really impressive move. Let's go back to Plug Power, which was down 8% and then moved up about 8% last we checked. Up about 4.6% now. So still pretty volatile on Plug Power. Volatile reaction. But it looks like we're still waiting on AMC. AMC is the only company we are still waiting on. And after hours, AMC was green going into their earnings. They're still green by about 2.24%. So pretty mixed. Initially, we got most of all a positive reaction to these earnings. But as time's gone on, as more companies have reported after hours today, more and more of them have been negative reactions. By the way, if you guys are new here, returning, not yet subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me. Let's just go ahead and check in on the indices after hours. The S&P 500 after hours, up 0.3%. So pretty solid move for the S&P after hours. Let's check in on the Nasdaq. I'm assuming similar reaction to the Nasdaq. Up 0.2%. Let's check in on the Russell 2000, the IWM. Also up about 0.3% after hours. Let's go ahead and check in on Bitcoin. Bitcoin was really, really strong at the market close. Looks like it's leveled off a little bit here. It's still struggling with the $44,000 level. We'll see if it can top that after hours and going into the market open tomorrow. But let's see. Scott says he's hearing that AMC will come out at the top of the hour. Okay, well, if it's the top of the hour, I'm not sure I can stick around for AMC's earnings, unfortunately, because that's a lot of time to burn, like a half hour, and not a whole lot to talk about. Okay, I don't know what this is. Lawsuits filed against First Solar, BMBL, and CRNC. It's a shareholder claim lawsuit. Look past it. Those things are so silly. But First Solar actually was down pretty bad, down 15%, I think it was, when we last looked. Right now, still down about 12%. I'm not sure if that lawsuit has anything to do with it. Ryan asked about Voozi earnings again. Yeah, we covered Voozi. They had a really negative reaction after hours, down 14%. I believe they missed on guidance, and they missed on earnings for the current quarter, and they also missed on sales for the current quarter. So it's kind of a triple miss, unfortunately, for Voozi. Okay. What do we got here? CELH. Oh, yeah, Celsius. Did Celsius report today? I know they're coming up. I'm not sure if they were today. But Celsius, this has kind of been a big mover, down 8.44%. Yeah, Celsius reported today. I'll add them to the news feed so I can see their headline numbers. Celsius Q4 sales of 104 million beat the 92 million estimate. So $12 million beat on sales for Celsius. And Celsius has been one of those like companies that as a college student I've seen like it's a popular drink. I personally have never drank one, but it looks like the sales beat. I don't have a profit or income number, which might be why it's red after hours. I'm not sure, though, until I see the actual numbers. But yeah, unfortunately, CELH is down after hours about 70.5% after reporting earnings. Cellophone says, think this pump is a crypto fake out. No, I don't. And the fact of the matter is this war, unfortunately, war is never good, but this Russia-Ukraine conflict thing has presented a use case that is the easiest use case to understand for any average American. That Bitcoin is not, controlled by a central authority. It can't be sanctioned. It honestly, compared to like the Russian ruble, it has very, very strong value. Solid value that doesn't waver very much. If anything, the value of it goes up. So this is a very easy to understand use case for Bitcoin. And especially if eBay adds Bitcoin as an option for payment, Bitcoin's probably going to keep going up because if adoption continues and the use case is easier and easier to understand, ultimately more and more people are going to buy into it. Now, over the short term, your guess is as good as mine is what's going to happen to Bitcoin, but I don't think it's a fake out. No, but not by any means. Biz says he appreciates me. No, thank you. I appreciate you more than you appreciate me. I can promise you that. All right, I'm not going to wait for AMC earnings. It sounds like they're going to be at the top of the hour, but we're going to end the stream here. I got to go do some other things. Bitcoin is topping 44,000, by the way, as I'm speaking. But thank you all for coming out for this market close live stream. I'll see if I can do a market open live stream tomorrow. Really enjoy coming out and seeing all you guys' faces. So come and hang out in the market open live stream if you want to. You can listen to me while you're laying in bed for all I care. Just come hang out. And again, if you guys are new here, returning out, you have subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I'll leave this stream up for, several hours if you guys want to go watch it through and hear my take on all these earnings reports. So with that, have a great rest of your day. Have a blessed rest of your day.